Thank you guys very much, and also to my co-students who decided to show up today. Thank you very much. Well, I'm here with a purpose, and the official purpose is to go from chaotic to clear with AI. But to be realistic and to be tangible, my objective is to give you tools to hopefully create all kinds of stuff using AI. And I have 20 minutes to do so please bear with me. As all of these TED Talks normally go, you normally start by defining something. We want a place of reference to start with before having a conversation or a presentation. And in this realm, it's usually the word innovation. And according to the Oxford Dictionary, it's the introduction of new things, ideas, or ways of doing something. But as Malik mentioned, I go alongside these lovely people to an innovation school. And we don't start by defining the word innovation. We start with people. We start with another word called project. What does that mean? It's the team building stage before a project starts. And don't worry, it's not an official word. I just edited this picture. So I like to view innovation as a ladder. Innovation is on the upper floor. It's something we strive to go. But as I mentioned at KAOSPILOT, we start with projecting as the ground floor. And because it had to be a ladder, I had to put something in the middle, and we here now and then use Microsoft Teams. So don't take it too serious. But I also really want to make it tangible for you guys to understand where it is that we are proceeding towards. And with this, I would like to introduce the world's best pastel de nata. Because there are stars around it. But to be serious, it's just to have a context to strive towards. And because I'm here in Lisbon in this semester until Christmas, I've only managed to pick up on the most Portuguese context, which is a pastel de nata. So please bear with me, there is still enough time for me to actually succeed in this semester. Anyway, let's move ahead. What is the purpose of projecting? It is officially to get the whole team engaged and excited about the vision and how they best can work together. It's KAOSPILOT research that comes from the researcher Lotte Darsø. But the million-dollar question is there a need for projecting? Because things are moving fast and weird products are being made. And the answer is yes, because research has shown that allocating sufficient time for project preparation and team formation can reduce the risk of innovation project failure by up to 30%. So, in other ways, it's also a risk mitigation tool if you want to sell it to the corporate world and the VCs. All right, so I spoke about innovation being a ladder. And today we will walk towards the ladder, towards innovation. But I also don't want you guys to spend a lot of energy going up the stairs. No, I want you guys to use an escalator with me, where we will go there automatically and don't spend that much energy getting towards innovation, which is, in this case, the world's best pastel de nata. All right, so what is projecting essentially? This is a hell of a graph, but if you look at the x-axis, it says time, and y-axis is the energy and engagement. And there are 8 fields on the y-axis, which are the most important. And if you utilize them, you will not get a mediocre result, but an excellent result, which I hope that we all want to strive for. So, how does this tool work? Well, I've not made it easy for myself because now I have less than 20 minutes to tell you guys about this. Wow. Okay, so these were the things on the y-axis. It was expectations, creative collectives, creative potential, direction, desired culture, deliverables. It's a lot. It's a lot to speak about. It's a lot to have in mind. But what we usually do in project groups is that we speak about this, and then one way we've utilized AI is that we voice record it. Because the beautiful thing about AI is that you can take a lot and then synthesize it and transcribe it very, very simply. So we speak about these things, these 8 things mentioned on the graph, and then we use it to create kind of a social contract. It could be a working manifesto or a working agreement, understanding where it is that we are in the spectrum. Because you might be able to understand that there is a great amount of disalignment or alignment in the team, but diversity in this sense can also be a strength, knowing what it is that your team members actually want to do. It could be a conversation that lasts 10 hours, 1 hour. It doesn't matter. It's about voicing it. Because as with many things in life, it's the small things that makes life a bit hard, but also very nice. But remember, when asking about this, don't just ask, listen, because you might open up for Pandora's box and see where it is people really want to go, because at the end of the day, we are not an AI, we act irrationally. We are humans. Another thing I want to put in and make this presentation even a bit more messy is speaking about how a project works. And we are very much schooled in agile project management, which means that we don't believe that projects are linear. No, we believe that they are exponential. And why is that? Well, it is because of the very simple statement that a predictable world is fantasy, especially in this day and age. So that begs the question, what is your strongest asset moving into uncertainty? Well, it is a strong team. They are your strongest asset. Well, Ivan, haven't you just spent a lot of time speaking about a word that we already know about? Alignment. And yeah, it is to a certain extent true. But it is also a mindset. But I totally forgot one thing. I totally forgot my introduction. Or if I were a very cringe teacher, I would say my projecting. Right? It is very rude just to go up on stage without presenting yourself. So my name is Ivan Grant Petrus. I'm 24 years old. As mentioned, I'm a second-year KAOSPILOT student, and in my professional setting, I'm mostly known for my work with my art collective and company called Just Us. And we got famous for making 500 images of pixelated bricks looking like this. Yeah. It was such a big movement that some people even tattooed it on themselves, and so cool that we displayed them illegally at the Louvre and Tate. It was also so cool that we earned and made a revenue of 4 million euros and lost it all again. So take this as a lesson. This engagement we just had was a little bit awkward, right? So start with projecting. Well, now I have much less than 20 minutes to tell you guys about how to use AI. So let me give you a model right off the bat and not keep all the goodies to myself. There is this model which we also use from time to time, which is the Canafin model. It is a sense-making tool that helps you categorize the context of a problem or situation so you can make better decisions and respond more effectively. We use it in times where words maybe doesn't translate, and having something visual to represent where you are as a team can also be a strong asset, especially when you work with larger organizations where the engineering department might view something as clear. And I've put all of my 3 dots over there because I don't know what I'm doing right now. Jokes aside, what can you use the Canafin model and projecting for? Because together they are a powerful tool. Because of the fact that we are in 2025. And that means that we can automate, at least to a certain extent. Because, as mentioned, I'm not here to give a static ladder. No, I'm here to give an escalator, and it moves by itself. So, automation. Well, to be completely transparent with you guys, making just bricks was not an easy aftermath for me, because the Danish tax system did not know how to tax pictures of bricks which people tattooed on themselves. It was a mess for me, and my lawyer and my accountant did not know what the hell I was doing. So that gave me a tax case, and therefore monetary pressure. Enough monetary pressure that I had to think a little bit different than I normally would, and I couldn't think linearly, but I had to think exponentially, because I'm still a student and I need to use force multipliers to be able to pay out my possible debt. So that's where automation comes into the picture and why I got interested in using AI to do my projects. So for example, now I'm working on a startup. It's very, very boring. It's called De facto. It's a software that checks through discount agreements. And we use 10 pilot cases to derive to the fact that between 0.9 and 1.4% of all invoices that have a discount agreement contains a mistake. Not a very important point, but case being that we now are lucky to have 50 plus customers with a collective market cap of 1 billion euros, which means that we're able to find a lot of money. But the verdict is that it's kind of boring. It's not really what I wanted to do in the beginning. It's not the beautiful bricks that I used to make. It's not me going to the museums. No, I'm just talking to VCs and investors that just want shareholder value. It's really, really boring. So, what is my secret weapon? It is Gemini. And what is Gemini? I think most of you guys have already heard about it. It is an LLM/AI, so just like ChatGPT, and it's made by Google. But it has a huge context window. To be exact, it has 6 times more tokens. And what is a token? It is 4 characters of text, roughly. Yeah, so 6 times more. So that means that I can feed AI to work more efficiently for me. So efficient that I am so fast that I misspelled the word efficiently. But jokes aside, when I'm working on De facto, I'm not really working. I just have a good project description, which makes sure that every time the developer asks me something, I can just put it into machine and it can answer for me. Because I don't know how to make SaaS software. I know a little bit. I know mostly about project management, and now I can utilize my skills in a different context, which is quite amazing. But sometimes it makes mistakes, but not major. So I'm able to feed this machine with principles, theories, mission statements, projecting, Canafin models, email threads, and personality tests. And let me show you an example of how it works in real life. It's very simple. I just have a bot like this, and then I've described it a little bit. I've given it some context, and for now it's really specified with me being here in Lisbon. So I've asked it to work a little bit harder because I also really want to go and enjoy the sun. And then I've given it a lot of context, which you guys can see here, which for example is the email threads and stuff like that. So it's very simple. And now I'm a project manager for a company that does quite well without really being qualified for it. So it's an amazing recipe. Use all the documents you have, but the secret ingredient is the context-through projecting. Because a lot of times we speak to an AI without really giving it the ability to understand that we are humans and that we are working differently. So by giving it, it understands the team dynamics better and also where your aspired reality is. And of course, you can speak now about data security and stuff like that. And I know I'm losing on that front, but for me, the trade is worthwhile. And again, it's as simple as maybe doing a voice recording and putting it in. It doesn't take more than a minute. So AI is not perfect nor a particularly meaningful tool to create, I don't know, lasting and positive changes in the world. But I live by the Pareto principle. I want to do a lot, and I don't have the time to be a perfectionist. But I can get 80% of the results by doing 20% of the effort. And that's me. Like, that's just what I want to do. I'm not a perfectionist. Because at the end of the day, people and teams are your strongest asset. They are the best tools to create meaningful and lasting change. So through projecting early in a project and creating alignment, you can create automation to use your time for meaningful, lasting, and positive changes. You can use this extra time to, I don't know, maybe create extra shareholder value for your company. Or you can spend it with the people that you love the most. Anyhow, I promised to give you guys an escalator. And in 2025, an escalator might look like this. I hope there is something else than a pastel de nata on top of it, but it can be whatever you aspire to use the escalator for. It is for you to make. And also really something that I recommend to do. But anyhow, this is all from me, so thank you very much.